Hey, good looking. You want to see what we have cooking today in my kitchen? Well, grab a hold of that vine, swing right on into my kitchen, and let's get cooking. Good looking. So, let's go through the list of the starry ingredients. I have some hamburger here. I am defrosting that. You're going to be needing some vodka, some Worcestershire sauce, or what some of you might go, what's this here sauce? I'm going to cook up some black beans. I'm also going to cook up some of the red kidney beans, chili powder, chopped onion. Gonna be needing some of that hot sauce, garlic powder, onion powder, some Montreal steak seasoning, some French soup mix, oregano, cumin, and then back here we have some Rotel tomatoes that have habaneros in it. And I also have a large can of the diced tomatoes right down here that we're also going to be putting in it. And one secret ingredient, we're going to sit there and use some baking soda. And I'm going to sit there and show you this neat little tip and trick of adding the baking soda to our ground beef. So I'm going to give my beans a quick wash. We're going to sort through them, and then we're going to sit there and cook our beans all up. And when I'm using the dried beans here, I like to use the ratio of, let's say I'm cooking up 1 cup of the dried beans here. I'm going to want to sit there and add 3 cups of water. So just keep that in mind if you're using the dried beans like I am. And this is the no-soak method that I always use. So 1 cup beans, 3 cups water. So here's 1 cup of black beans. Now I would also cooking up the red beans right along with the black beans. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to measure out my red kidney beans. Here's a cup of red kidney beans. So that would mean I would need 6 cups of water. So let me go ahead and add my 6 cups of water. I have the water and the beans all down inside the Instant Pot. Let's go ahead, put our covers on, lock our lid on into place. Be sure to close the vent. I'm going to come down here, push manual, and I'm going to put the time for 30 minutes. And then after the 30 minutes of pressure cooking time, we're going to allow the beans in our Instant Pot to do a natural release. As you see, I went ahead and I cooked the beans up in the Instant Pot. Now, I'm going to take the ground beef. We're going to put the ground beef down in the Instant Pot, and we're going to make a small slurry of every pound of ground beef that we use. I would sit there and mix up 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and a small little bit of water to make a slurry. And trust me, you're going to want to sit there and use this little trick with ground beef a lot. So, off to the Instapot, my ground beef goes. The ground beef is in our Instapot. Now I'm just going to come over here and we're just going to par cook it up. Alright, I have a little measuring cup out. I have half of a teaspoon of the baking soda. Now I'm just going to add just a wee bit of water. You see, we have a little wee bit of water in here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and mix this all up. Okay, I have the little slurry all mixed up. We're going to add that to the Instapot with the ground beef. Also, while our ground beef is frying, I have 2 stalks of celery. Let's go ahead and add that to the ground beef. We're going to take 1 tablespoon of the minced onion. Add that to the ground beef too. So we have that here. We're going to grab the minced garlic and add 1/4 teaspoon of the minced garlic. 1 teaspoon of the onion powder. So there we go with the onion powder. And 1/2 of a teaspoon of the garlic powder. And there we go. We're going to sit there, grab the French onion soup mix, and we're going to give it 2 tablespoons of the French onion soup mix. So here we go. Add that. Now I'm going to give everything a good stir. As you see, we're just part cooking up the ground beef. That's what I want you to do. We're going to add a few dashes of the Worcestershire sauce. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to give a few mad dashes of the hot sauce. So let's go ahead and do that. Give that all a good stir. We're going to give 1 teaspoon of oregano. Add that. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of the cumin. So let's go and add that. Give this all a good stir. One tablespoon of the chili powder. One tablespoon of the Montreal steak seasoning. Give this all another good stir. We're going to want to waken up all them seasonings and bring them to the party. Okay, now I'm going to sit there and simply open up my can of Rotel, diced up tomatoes with the habanero. Add that. I'm going to grab the can of diced up tomatoes, and we're going to be adding that too. And give this all a stir. Let's go ahead and add the diced tomatoes. Give this all a real good stir. So the tomatoes have been added to the party. All our seasonings. We're going to bring the beans over, and we're going to add the beans to the party. So, let's add those beans. Mix this all up. This is smelling good. I'm going to turn off the Instapot. I'm going to grab the vodka, and we're going to we're going to add half a cup. Or if you want to use less, go ahead. Use less. You can use a fourth of a cup. Or you could even opt and not choose to use the vodka at all. But I'm telling you, the vodka really adds a layer of flavor to the chili. Hence why the name of the chili is Bloody Mary chili, because basically we have all the ingredients of a Bloody Mary right down in here, having one big old party. I'm going to switch out from my Instapot that we have all the Bloody Mary chili in. We're going to replace the Instapot with our Instapot Max and get it all set up to can up some of this Bloody Mary chili. I'm going to quick fill up my jars while my Instapot is here. You're going to want to leave at least a good 1-inch head space. We can put more in there. I'm going to grab my debubbler, and we're just going to sit there and poke this down, remove any air bubbles that might be in our Bloody Mary chili. And I'm just going to continue on filling up my 4-pint jars with this good old Bloody Mary chili mix. Now, This Bloody Mary chili has been a favorite in my family. I've been making it for years, and it's always been really well received in the family. Oh, there again, I bumped the camera. I'm sorry, I don't mean to do that. So I'm going to come in again. Looks like I could just use a tad bit more. Just a little bit more. Take the debubbler down. Okay. I'm going to finish filling up these other 2 jars, and we'll continue on with the Instamax. I finished filling my jars up. Now, I have my nifty little contraption here that is filled up with vinegar. I'm going to sit there and put some vinegar onto my washcloth because I'm opting out not using any paper toweling this year. So I'm just going to wipe the rims of all my jars. Let's put our canning lids on now that I wiped the rims. And we're going to sit there and finger tighten the rings on. Place our jars right into our Instamax. Our Instapot Max pressure canner. So I got 2 more. Put that one on in. And let's put the final canning ring on this one. And put this into our Instapot Max. I'm going to put the cover on. I already sat there, turned it on. The temperature on the inside of the Instapot Max pressure canner is at 77 degrees. I have it all set for Fahrenheit. I have my proper altitude set in. And what's left to do? I mean, basically, you set it and you forget it. I like to pay close attention to the temperature right here because the proper kill zone temperature is anywhere from 240 to 250 degrees. Then we're going to sit there and let it do a natural release. And I have the time set for these pint jars that are inside my Instapot Max canner. I have the timing set for 75 minutes because we're doing pints. If you were to do quarts, you would have to process it for 90 minutes. Now, what happens if you don't know what altitude that you live in? Well, that's a very good question. You know, you could simply just Google in the name of your town along with your state, and Google will tell you what altitude your city is at. That's the proper altitude that you all should be canning all of your pressure canned goods at. So we'll be back throughout the process of the canning here, and I'll keep you updated. As you see, the temperature is now between 87 and 89 degrees. Oh, it just jumped up to 90. So, like I said, we'll be back. The Instant Pot just went off and now it's in the cool down stage. Or I should say, in the natural release stage. As you see, the temperature is 246, or it's been going down to 244. Now, like I said, we're going to do a natural release. I took these out of my Instapot Max pressure canner. Now, we're going to leave these sit for 24 hours, leave them undisturbed, and then in the morning I'm going to sit there, remove the rings, and wash the entire jar and rewash all the rings. Then I'm going to sit there, go ahead, label these jars all up, and place them right onto the pantry shelves. Now, if you liked what you saw here today of how I showed you how you could make your own Bloody Mary chili and can it too, please give me a big old thumbs up. All them thumbs up helps out my channel greatly. I truly appreciate all the thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're not yet a subscriber, go up, hit that subscribe button, tap that little bell. That way you always be notified every time I do put out a new video. And as always, here's to happy canning, but better yet, happy eatings. Peace and love to everybody.